Well, I knew that it was just a matter of time before other states and, well, even districts started mandating corona testing before you're able to visit their areas. We're going to get into all the details. Before I go any further, guys, if you enjoy the daily content I put out for you here on YouTube, I encourage you to help support the channel over on Patreon. You can do so for as little as $5 a month. Patreon.com/conservative truth. That link in the description gets you access to over 25 exclusive podcasts where I talk more about sensitive information. You get the alerts for anything that goes out onto Patreon, unlike YouTube, where you will not be notified of all the videos that I put out, even if you have that bell selected, because YouTube doesn't like me. But I know you guys do like me, so when you get done watching me here, browse back and check what you've missed. Please like this video, share it, hit the bell, subscribe, and I wear the glasses because I'm blind. Now, I talked about New York a couple of weeks ago, where Governor Cuomo has now mandated that anybody who travels to the state of New York would have to take a corona test before being able to enter the state. Not only that, but they would have to quarantine themselves for at least 3 days after and then get another test. It makes you not even want to go there anyway. I mean, New York is such a disaster anyway. I don't even know why anybody would want to travel there, at least at this time with the current leadership and everything else going on in the state as it stands. Now, let's talk about Washington, D.C., where the mayor there, Muriel Bowser, another gem she is, right? In a news conference on Thursday, she stated that now Washington, D.C. is doing something similar, although it doesn't appear on the surface to be as extreme as what New York is doing. Nonetheless, they're still mandating corona testing before you visit the district. Now, what she is calling for is that 72 hours before you plan on traveling to D.C., you would be required to take a corona test, that it would have to be negative, and that also, if you're planning on staying in the district for any longer than 3 days upon arrival there, you would then have to take another corona test within 3 to 5 days of your arrival into D.C. Now, many people were asking here at this news conference, are you going to have, checkpoints set up at the airports, for people to verify they have a negative test? She said they're not going to be having checkpoints, but she did stress the fact that she has basically authorized any private businesses to be able to request any personal information, including proof of a corona test from any out-of-state travelers. And that would go for even, churches, although I couldn't see churches really complying with this, especially since this mayor has done everything she can to restrict churches, but several other private businesses as well. They could randomly ask you, and if you're unable to provide, any sort of documentation that you have a negative test, well, then you could be subject to fines and other penalties as well. So that's the order that she has it right now as it stands. There are some exceptions. Now, she said that anybody that's traveling into D.C. from Virginia or Maryland, they would be exempt. They would not have to take a corona test before entering D.C. Also, anybody who is coming into the district for essential work, they would be allowed to do so as well, although she still would want them to take a test if they're going to be anywhere in the area for, longer than that 3-day period. They just wouldn't have to take the test prior to arriving into the district, but after the fact, if they were going to be there for a longer period of time. So I mentioned this, like I said, this is going to spread out to other states. Now D.C. is doing it. This is going to go, like I said, it's going to go to even more. And what D.C. is saying is this is going to apply to high-risk areas, although they didn't really list, which states they consider to be high risk. Now, I'm sure they can take a look at the map and be like, well, everywhere in the United States is a high risk to them. I mean, they only have over 17,000 cases here in this district. So the fact that they're even going overboard like this and demanding a test, again, it's like, I just don't know what the bother is. People, I know they want to go see D.C., for all the, historic purposes and everything like that. But I mean, that place is crazy right now as it is with all the chaos that's been happening there. So right now, these guidelines or mandates are coming in for places right now where I don't think many people would want to go visit anyway. If they start happening in the rural areas and more of the red states, like you can't go visit, Idaho or Montana without taking a corona test, or anywhere in the Midwest, then, I would really start to panic. I mean, this is already bad now. I'm not saying that we shouldn't panic or be concerned. We definitely should be. But this is the kind of thing that could just really spread like a wildfire, and it's just not good all around. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the latest restrictions here for D.C. mandating corona testing. Would you even visit D.C. at this point? Would you visit New York? I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with more. You guys take care. Please be safe out there. God bless each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon.